Byron York has this story today about, and it's a fascinating piece as it relates to Obamacare, because the IRS is going to be administering everything here. And the Byron York story is about the earned income tax credit and how there is a 30% level of fraudulent claims every year in it. Earned income tax credit is basically tax refunds for the poor. The earned income tax credit gives tax refunds to people that don't pay any taxes, is essentially what it is. And it's like every other federal program. It's gone way beyond its original intention. It's now gotten bigger and is giving more money away than it ever intended to people who were never supposed to be qualified to get it. It's out of control. And there's the level of fraud is 30% of the claims. 30% of the income tax returns claiming EITC are fraudulent. And the IRS says they can't do anything about it because the program is too big and too complicated to fix. Now, the point is, these are the people who are going to be administering a nationwide program of all kinds of subsidies and paybacks and compensation payments. I mean, it's just and if they can't handle and keep the fraud out of the EITC, and we're going to give them, even with 16,000 new agents, Obamacare. The point is, it isn't going to work. But that'll not stop Obama. Remember, he doesn't care, folks, about all of this minutia right now. It doesn't matter. And I'll tell you something else. Our last caller was a guy named Ron, and he said he thinks that this is different because the true believer liberals are going to run into this one headfirst as individuals. Like everybody, they are going to get their cancellation letters from insurance companies. Remember, there is no longer any employer mandate. An employer does not have to provide health insurance anymore. They got a waiver of 1 year for that. So people are on their own while the individual mandate survives. The law is you have to have health insurance. So people are being canceled in the hundreds of thousands. And the cancellation letters are basically telling them that you can't keep your current plan. But Obama said they could. Ron thinks that this is going to wake liberals up, and they're going to see this, and they're going to be fit to be tied. Now, there is, and I poo-pooed the full extent to which he believes this might happen. However, there is one thing about this that differs from other liberal programs. Let's compare this to, let's say, tax increase. A tax increase, or taxes in general, the vast majority of people do not ever write a check for it. Taxes are withheld, and they really never have the money that they're paying. And that is a fundamentally important key thing to understand about why people don't go nuts about tax increases. It's because it really does not take money out of their pocket. It prevents money from getting into their pocket, but people are not actually seeing. They never take possession of the money that is being taxed because of withholding. I've always said, if you want to change tax policy, get rid of withholding, require everybody to pay the check, and you'll have reform real fast. Well, that's what's happening here. In a sense, people are having to pay for their health insurance now that the employer mandate's gone. They're having to go through the rigmarole of trying to qualify for a subsidy. They're having to go to the exchange, the website, whatever. It's a mess. They're getting these letters. Their current plans don't survive. Their premiums are doubling in many cases. The deductibles are quadrupling in some cases. People are getting notices of deductibles of $6,500 to $8,000, in some cases $12,000, and they look at that and they can't believe that. They're not going to use that much in a year. They'll never. It's boggling their minds. Plus, now they're going to have to buy a new policy, and it's money out of their pocket. And that is something that is going to make a lot of people mad. It's going to have a personal impact on them, whereas a tax increase doesn't. Because they never have the money they're paying in taxes. Net withholding, that was such a brilliant scheme. Such a brilliant scheme, because it really does mean that the money people are paying in taxes, they never get it. So in a true definition of the word, there is no transaction when they pay their taxes. They don't get it in the first place. It's taken from them before they ever see it. Not true here. So this, I think there are a lot of people getting these notes and they're seething. And they're scared. You know how important health care is to everybody? They're scared. They believe this business that one illness and they're bankrupt. One illness and they're busted for life. One illness and they're broke for the rest of their life and they can never get another flat screen, might not be able to get another car. I mean, people, they believe all these horror stories, and it's become healthcare, insurance, treatment coverage, what has become one of the most important things to people. They're willing to give up salary for it. They're willing to give up lifestyle for it. It's an amazing thing the Democrats have perpetuated here and done with the scare tactics related to it. But in this instance with Obamacare, these people being canceled are having to find what it is going to cost them. It's money that they do have that they're going to have to pay. And that's not the case with taxes. Their taxes are deducted. They never see that money. So there's no concept of really paying it. But this, they have whatever money they've got. And now they find out what they're going to have to pay. They're going to have to write that premium check. That's why they're busting tail to get this website claiming to have it fixed.